What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rich Secrets, and today we got a real good topic to hop on. I feel like that not too many people know my story, right? Especially my subscribers, my new followers. You guys haven't probably went through enough content to actually know where I came from and where I'm at now. So I feel like this is probably the best time to share it with y'all, because when I get the ideas, I'm like, I gotta go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Because it'll get out of my mind. I just gotta go ahead and do it, right? But right now, and plus, right now, I'm actually headed to Houston, right? I'm headed to Houston to do a couple of shoots, a couple of content videos with my guy, Dreams Into Assets, right? So if y'all want to follow him on IG, that's Dreams Into Assets, all right? My guy out here doing big things, all right? I wouldn't be traveling out here if he wasn't, all right? But he's at a stage to where I was at when it came to social media, right? When it came to my TikTok, Facebook Reels, he's letting them out, and it's like I see it. You know, sometimes you see certain things in people, right? So that's why I'm on my way out here. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't gonna have enough time to do the video if I would have been out here and everything. But first, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. All right, that way you'll be updated every time I drop a fire video. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with it. All right, so first of all, I want to first state that I didn't come from money. All right, I didn't come from any type of money at all. Actually, we lived through Section 8, right? So it was basically me, my sister. I'm just give y'all to the beginning, and I'm gonna speed it up a little bit, all right? Because of course, like, I'm old, right? I'm getting older. I said I'm old. Damn. Y'all know I ain't mean that. Y'all know I ain't mean that. I'm 24. All right. But the whole point is just to give y'all a beginning. It basically was me, my mom, my sister, and my little brother inside the house. I was the middle child. And throughout our life, like I said, we always lived through Section 8. We was either at somebody else's house when we was living with them as we was babies, or my mama ended up getting her own house. When she finally got Section 8, oh, but though, my mama's so extra, y'all. She probably don't be saying this on her, but it don't matter. All right, it's my YouTube channel, it's my life. All right, but yeah. While we was moving house to house, right? She ended up getting Section 8, so we ended up getting us like a firm house. Because anybody that don't know what Section 8 is, Section 8 is basically where they decrease your rent, right? Basically saying, hey, you were part of a low income majority, right? So we can lend you out, and even though the rent is $800, we can let you pay $200 or $150 a month, right? So that's how that works. And basically that's what we did pretty much throughout our whole life, right? My dad went in my life, right? And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I don't really feel no type of way about it. Really don't feel no type of way, because I honestly feel like I turned out like excellent, like damn good. You know what I mean? So I don't regret not having them. But what I will say is, yeah, my mama pretty much raised me, right? So it was pretty much my mama, and we went through pretty much stepdad. We had probably like 3 stepdads in our life, right? And they pretty much came in and out, because y'all know how relationships go. I ain't gonna get too far up in that, you know what I mean? But I didn't technically have a father figure, you know what I mean? Somebody to technically look up to, because, I mean, I just had nobody to look up to through the certain period of really elementary to all the way up to really getting towards high school, right? I didn't have really a male figure to really say, hey, that's who I admire, right? Besides probably folks like on the internet or something like that, right? But yeah, I didn't have nobody to really look up to all the way out through high school. And finishing high school, right, I was not smart. I was not smart when it came to school. I was not smart when it came to school. Like, it just was not my interest, you know. And I just feel like, honestly, with it not being my interest. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure this ain't no police. All right, they good. All right, so anyway, look, I know I ain't supposed to be doing this while I'm driving, y'all, but I'm good. I'm looking at the road. I'm straight. This comes second nature. All right. But yeah, like I was saying, didn't have any really male figure to look up to during all the way during high school, right? And I pretty much had to learn to stand my own ground because I had, of course, a sister too. You know, and my sister she wasn't ugly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real, when it comes to my sister and like the women in my life, my mama, auntie, all them, like I don't play about them. You know what I'm saying? So like, when you become or try to become their boyfriend or try to hit at them or even say something wrong, you know, because I done really got into like 2 fights throughout my life for my sister, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's just how it is. But I come from Memphis, right? Born and raised from Memphis, Tennessee. And like I said, we pretty much lived on Section 8, so we didn't live in a good area, right? We lived off of Parkway Village. And if you really want to know what that is, y'all can just look Parkway Village up, right? So we pretty much lived throughout Parkway Village our whole life. My mama still lives through Parkway Village, right? But my whole goal is to get her out of there, and we gonna make sure we do that this year, right? But the thing is, we didn't grow up in a good environment too, right? You know, you heard gunshots all the time through Parkway Village, and it still goes on. It's even worse now. You know what I mean? But just wasn't no good neighborhood, all right? So we grew up pretty much in violence. But I feel like, honestly, when you grow up in those type of environments, you have a decision to make, right? Because that's the hardest thing that hits people is what the majority like to do, right? What the majority opinion is, really, right? What the majority opinion is of them. So it's like, it's hard in that environment to be able to say, hey, listen, I want to kind of stand out. You know what I mean? You want to still look cool, but you still want to stand out because of others. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of the type of programming we kind of raised with. You know what I mean? So we can't blame it. But yeah, in that environment, you had to end up choosing. And I got into a lot of bad stuff. You know what I mean? And I knew it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? I knew certain things wasn't for me. I know that for a fact. Like, selling weed, nah, wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? If I ever sold weed, all right, I would honestly kill the shit, right? I'm just be honest with you. I would kill the shit. But like, come on now, it can really, that shit can get taken from you as fast as it come, for real. As fast as it come, that shit can get taken away. All right, I done seen it. All right, you can have people making 20 grand a week off weed, right? For years, right? Into that 1 year, that one solid year. When somebody break inside their circle, when something happens, right? Boom, in jail, 20 years, 15 years, all that gone down the drain. Your people ain't coming to help you. You got probably about one person or probably 2 people that's coming to see you and actually providing for you and doing for you, right? Then when you get in that situation, then it's a different thought. Then you in a different situation. You know what I mean? So yeah. But anyway, like I said, come from that type of environment. But once I was finishing high school, like I said, the only reason why I was average during school, like my grades was somewhere average. And when I say average, I'm talking about probably damn near past a 2.5. All right, I don't really give a shit right now. All right, so down there past a 2.5, if it didn't hit a 2.5. The only reason why I aimed for it to, and this is how I knew I could do it, you know what I mean? But it wasn't my interest, you know what I mean? I played sports. I ran track, played football. I was playing baseball for a little bit, and I got surprised at myself when I was playing baseball. You know what I mean? Because I came out there and I was practicing, and Shit, he ended up putting me like, hey, you got to get on team. You know what I mean? I'm hitting the mother. But anyway, I was selling candy. I was selling candy and I was selling candy in the school, and they constantly told me not to sell candy. You know what I mean? The principal told me not to sell candy. Look, I was selling. Look, this is how I knew. This is how I knew I was that when I was that age. You know what I mean? In high school, right? I'm talking about the concession stand. I'm selling out more than the concession stand. That was the problem. When you start causing disruptions, that's when they try to take you out. All right? I was causing disruptions in the school. All right? I'm talking about selling out before second period, third period, right? Everybody knew I had different because I knew to come with different stuff. Everybody was coming with the same thing. Everybody was coming with the, you know, everything you get from Sam's, you know, the average things, right? Nah, your boy came different, all right? But anyway, couldn't play baseball. Only played it for probably like a month, and then they principal said, hey, you can't play no sports, right? And the only reason why I stayed above a 2.5 is because I had to play sports. That was a requirement. In order for you to be able to stay on the team of anything, football, basketball, any type of sport, you had to be past a 2.5, right? You had to be past a 2.5 GPA. So I made sure that I hit that and they made sure they checked, right? They made sure they checked every report card, just like how your parents check your report card. The football coaches was made to check our report cards and make sure, hey, you got a 2.5, or are you playing this week? You got a 2.5, or are you playing this week? You got a 2.4, you ain't playing this week. You feel what I'm saying? So I basically stayed average throughout all the way until 11th grade, right? During 11th grade, I met a girl that was helping me out a lot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, she helped me. You always got that girl that help you out a lot that you really don't. You know what I'm saying? That you really you don't really see nothing after a while or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? But that's just how it be, you know? But 11th grade, met her, and she was helping me during school, right? She was helping me out during school, pretty much with all type of my work, right? I'm talking about, like, because when it got to 11th grade, it was getting harder for me. You know what I mean? And I was getting D's, and I had to stay on a basketball team, and I was worried about girls and this and other stuff. You know what I mean? So pretty much, she helped me out with a lot of subjects. I'm talking about math, history. I was good at science. She helped me out about 3 main subjects, right? And honestly, the girl was the reason why I passed 12th grade, right? I ended up getting passed and getting my certificate and everything like that. But after I got my certificate, just imagine, you see, this is what a moment of definition. This is where I feel like school hit people sometimes, and it kind of decrease their like self-worth or like your self-value, or you know what I mean? Because you see other people and you see numbers, and it's like, okay, I stayed average pretty much throughout all the way up to 11th grade. 11th grade, I was looking smart as hell. I was looking smart as hell when it came to my report cards, all right? And I knew I was, because my coach even looked at me like, Caillou, boy, what you doing? What you doing? You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, I don't know, y'all. Like, I was doing 3.5s, down there 4.0s. I hit a 4.0 one time. You know what I'm saying? I felt like the man, even though I ain't really just, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I had to put in a little bit of work too, you know? But, yeah, that happened, you know what I mean? But the feeling of just going through the graduation, and you seeing everybody have these $200,000 scholarships, $1 million scholarships, right? To be able to go to these prestigious colleges, and it's like, when you walk up there, you nothing, right? Nothing in scholarships, nothing, right? It's just like, all right, you know, now you just part of society. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like that does decrease your value, because when I look back at it now, you know what I mean? That is a self-worth. I wish I knew how to really say it right now. But yeah, that definitely plays a big role, I feel like, in people's life sometimes. But it really doesn't matter. It really does not matter. It's all on you and all on how you think about yourself, right? But that's what I feel like school is ultimately meant to do, to program people. Us. We have. Majority of people have, because everybody goes through school. So yeah. But and during school you learn a lot. You learn a lot, and you learn like, hey, either you're gonna be with the majority and not be liked, and then you weird, all of that type of stuff, or you gonna fit in with the majority, right? I was the type in the middle. You know what I mean? I feel like I would place myself in the middle, because I went the guy with the J's and the Nikes, and you know what I mean, all that. I came with that first week of school, you know what I mean, because mama made sure she, you know what I'm saying, did what she had to do. So first week of school, I'm coming, you know what I mean, boom, I'm getting these shoes, I'm trading them out, right? I'm trading them out with my friend down the street. Nobody don't even know it, right? I'm coming into school the second week. That way I come into school with the second week with a new pair of shoes, right? It look like I got a new pair of shoes. But that's just how folks used to do it where I come from. You know what I mean? You know, that's just where I come from, right? And that's how we raised. And we ain't got money like that. So what else we gonna do? We gonna go buy another whole set of shoes? Your mama ain't finna go buy another whole set of shoes. You had those people in the school that had the J's every week, right? But like, if you didn't have it, you just didn't have it. You know what I mean? So I put myself in the middle. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of folks knew me. A lot of folks knew me in school. My name was definitely known. So like, I don't know. You know what I mean? A lot of people knew me. It's just like now. You know what I mean? A lot of people knew me, but I didn't know them. But a lot of people I did know and I talked to. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and go on, all right? Went through high school, didn't have anything to really aim at that point, but a job. At that point, I was working I think I had started my 11th grade year. It was either my 11th or 12th grade year. I started being a lifeguard, right, for the city. And I was like, every summertime, that's when I would be a lifeguard, right? Because school was out, I could be a lifeguard for 4 months and make a couple of little bands, you know what I'm saying? Like, lifeguard and pay $12 an hour, when in the summertime, the pool's booming, you know what I mean? So, yeah, boom. I was a lifeguard. I had to go through the training for a week. But when I went through the training, it's always harder with me for something, no matter if sports, any type of reading, or like, it's always harder for me, right? So the training is usually supposed to be a week, right? My training lasted for 2 months, because they had to constantly give me chance after chance to be able to pass certain tests, the physical tests, the written tests. So it took me a little bit of time, right? But I finally ended up getting it, and I thank God for my mama, right? I thank God for my mama for that, y'all, because she made sure that I got there back and forth. She literally made sure, and I'll never forget that. She made sure that I got there every day. Every day. Alright? That's why I love her. But let's go on and change the subject. Alright? Because I ain't finna be doing all this emotional shit up on here. Alright? But yeah. She made sure she took me to the training back and forth for the 2 months. Even though like it was all the way out in North Memphis. That was probably about 27 minutes away from where we was at. You know, you got different parts of the hood. You know what I mean? Parkway Village is East Memphis hood. You know what I mean? It's a hood. It's not the wealthy area. But North Memphis is really, right, that's the hood, right? I'm talking about, you go out there, you see a 16-year-old smoking cigarettes, it's all right. It's good. You know what I'm saying? That's probably somewhere else in another area, they probably be like, you how old are you? How old are you? But like out there, it's just normal to see. You know what I mean? Because when I finally became a lifeguard, right, the first place they put me at was East Memphis location. All right, they put me at a pool called Willow Pool. I was there, you know what I mean? We turned up that pool, had fun, bought the speaker. We had a lot of fun at that pool, right? We brought a lot of folks out that we knew from Overton because it was next to my high school, right next to my high school. Boom, brought a lot of people out. Next year, I became another lifeguard. They said, hey, Kai, you can't go to this school no more. I mean, you can't. I said you can't go to this school. You can't be at this pool no more, right? You can't be at this pool no more because it's already filled with lifeguards. We didn't already put all the lifeguards up in there. I'm like, all right, cool. So where I gotta go? They're like, all right, you gotta go to North Memphis pool, which is Klondike. I'm like, I bet, cool. You know what I mean? I have been out to North Memphis a couple times. You know what I mean? I'm not from out in North Memphis, but I got family out in South Memphis area. So we be out there and we drive through the North area, and I just been out there. You know what I mean? But I never like lived out there, stayed out there, or anything like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, they told me I had to work out there at Klondike. So I'm sitting right here asking the other lifeguards about Klondike. You know what I mean? What's up, Klondike? You know what I mean? It be. I'm young, so I'm like, it be turned. You know what I mean? Like that's what we say. You know what I mean? It be turned. Like yeah, it be a lot of folks there. You know what I mean? But it be a lot of drumming out there. You gotta hold yourself there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I said, it just, hey, this is how it is. You know what I mean? You get there, you realize it's a different environment. You know what I mean? You definitely realize it's a different environment. I stayed in that environment for 3 years, right? Stayed there for 3 years for a lifeguard, just coming back and forth during the summertime. And I stayed there for like 4 months out. So I know a lot of people out there because everybody in North Memphis come to that pool. Everybody know what Klondike is. If you go out to North Memphis and you say, hey, where Klondike pool is, they'll be able to point you directly to it. Okay? But yeah, boom. As I was lifeguard, I still didn't have nothing to aim at, right? Somebody ended up calling out during this period of time, I forgot. As I was lifeguard, I ended up finding somebody, right, named Rico McKinney. Shout out to Rico McKinney. He helped me out with a lot of my skills that I have right now too. You know what I mean? When you meet people, you notice that you add on to your arsenal, right? You add on to your arsenal because you see, you get certain swags that they have, right? You get what's good out of them, and that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's how you're supposed to be. That's why people tell you to go get mentors and other things like that. So he was basically part of a network marketing company. Came up to me with this network marketing company. He was like, hey, you know, we have this, and that, and you can become a part of this network company. All we have to do is just build a team, right? You have to build a team. You have to find your own team, and this is how you build it. And he basically was the first person that exposed me to kind of like entrepreneurship in a way, right? This is when I first jumping out of high school, right? I was already a lifeguard in 10th grade. In 11th grade, and then I was still went out of high school. So as soon as I jumped out of high school, boom, doing the network marketing, and I'm doing lifeguard, right? But that kind of exposed me to like the first kind of entrepreneurship journey, right? And during that entrepreneurship journey, we had to find people, we had to go get them, we had to kind of sell to them. In a way, we had to sell them, we had to make them believe in what we were selling, right? And at that point, I found out that I was a pretty good salesperson, right? Because I was building a team. My cousin had became a board. That's what really motivated me, because the first time Rico had came up to me, I was like, nah, pyramid scheme, you know what I mean? That's how everybody is. And then I had my girl too at the time with me that was helping me out a lot. She ended up was like, nah, you know what I mean? But honestly, you know what I mean? That's why I left her, you know what I mean? I got a problem with leaving females, you know what I mean? Because, I don't know, I don't look for things in them, but it's like, I have to have a certain type of woman, you know what I mean? I have to have a certain type of woman, and when I see that you don't have the certain things that I need, then it's no time. Why would I waste time? I'm not gonna waste time. Time is everything. I can't get time back. I get money, I get all this other stuff back, all right? I can't get time back, all right? So yeah, gone. If they ain't good for me, they gone. I choose what's best for me. But and I don't mean it in no type of selfish way. I look out for others, but I look out for what's best for me. So and that's a big difference. But anyway, we ain't gonna make this too long. It's probably gonna be like a 30-minute. We gonna see how long this go. But yeah, selling the network marketing company, Rico exposed me. My cousin was doing well, and I started seeing my cousin make money. And while he was making money, I'm like, okay, he was with his girlfriend at the time, and they both really doing it. And I'm like, I'm looking at them, and I'm like, they making money, and they signing people up, and they starting to make it passively, right? They starting to make it passively to where they not doing nothing, but they still getting money every day and not doing anything, right? But probably making phone calls and all that. So I'm like, all right, Jermaine, I go and jump on board. You know what I mean? It's my cousin's name. I go and jump on board. I was under my cousin's team, BAM, which was also under Rico's team, who introduced us to the system, right? Boom. We out here and we making moves and we really building teams. And I rised all the way up to they have, the highest level is called executive director, right? I reached senior director, and then everything pretty much from there started going downhill. My cousin and them had to reach the executive director. Rico was an executive director. They was doing very well, all right? But I was glad to even reach, what I just called it? It was executive director. Anyway, the second level. I was proud to reach that because of the simple fact of what it exposed me to now, right? Looking back at it, what it exposed me to a lot of, like, hey, you got to jump out there. Like, you can't care about what others think about you right now, right? Because it's probably cool to do this. It's probably cool to do these things right here. But you can't care about that, right? And you can't care about how other folks try to look at you. You know what I mean? That was the biggest thing I had got out of this, because it was like, while everybody else was kind of cool working jobs, we was kind of like trying to get them on a wave of like, hey, we can kind of make this passive income if we build a team. And not everybody want to hop on board, but we got people too. And that was the biggest thing. I had to hop out and talk to people. I had to learn the language of speaking to people and convincing and sales, right? That was my first little tick of it, right? And from there, I was, like I said, oh, let me not forget, I was also exposed to talking to people. While we was doing this, right, we had to invite people to something, I think it was called PRs. PRs is where we get all the people that we got numbers from, new people that we invited. We invite them to one spot, whether that's a house, event space, whatever it is, right? And we talk to them. We give them the service, and we let them know what it provides. We let them know the actual what the product provides, and we also let them know what the opportunity provides too, to where you can make money. And that was pretty much it. Everybody can sign up from there, and that was cool. You know what I mean? That was cool for a moment. Like I said, when we got to see, it put me in front of crowds. Gave me the ability to be able to talk in front of crowds, because that's a big thing, just jumping out and talking in front of crowds for a lot of people, right? Just jumping out and talking in front of people, and then you have to talk, you know what I mean? You have the ability to be able to relate, and you can't be focused on what they thinking, right? You have to be all into yourself. That's one thing I noticed. You have to be all into yourself, and what are you aiming to do? What are you aiming to give the people, right? You believe in what you are selling. You believe in your service. You are trying to convince them to believe in what you believe in, right? You're trying to convince them to believe also. That is your only aim. Not what they're thinking. Oh, he's off pitch. He's doing that. He looks funny. Nah, nothing of that. Okay? None of that. Focus on the message. That's it. So that's what I have to give out of that. But anyway, exposed me to a lot. After that, I end up, I'm gonna speed this up, y'all. I don't want this to go too long. After that, right, I end up getting a call from my mom, well, I didn't get the call, my mama got a call from a roofing company. Roofing company ended up telling my mom that they heard that I can sell because my mom had a friend or something like that. So they ended up getting me to the location of the roofing location. And when I got there, this was another kind of entrepreneurship, because you all on your own in entrepreneurship, right? No, whether you 1099 for another company, you are self-employed. So at that point, they introduced me to more self-employment. He said that, hey, listen, he showed me the numbers on what's possible to make inside this industry, but the only thing is you will not be getting paid. You only get paid when you start to make commissions, right? when you start to make commissions, when you start to actually sell doors. And I'm like, whoa. At this point, I'm still working as a lifeguard. Barely doing well at Legal Shield right now, right? Barely doing well at Legal Shield. Legal Shield was not making me enough money. I was kind of getting away from it, right? I was kind of getting away from it because I'm like, all right, my team is not building other teams. It was just a lot. And I'm like, I actually see myself building an actual company of my own. You know what I mean? So that's what happened. So, all right, cool. And y'all let me know in the comments too if y'all like this. If y'all like this raw, just like this, just let me know. All right, in the comments, and I'll try to do more of these. But yeah, he ended up showing me the numbers, and I decided to do it. I said I got a lot of time on my hands from lifeguarding because lifeguarding was not giving me a lot of time at that point, right? They was not giving me a lot of hours. I was making probably about $220 a week. I mean, I said a week, every 2 weeks. That's with the taxes and all that stuff taken out. So that was nothing. And I had time on my hands because I was only working on weekends. So I was like, all right, I can try this. I go knock doors. And I began that, right? And as I began that journey of just knocking on people's doors, I first went out with a trainee. I first went out as a trainee with a guy named Corey Granberry. All right, I'm gonna shout out their name, all right, because like I said, I learned a lot from all these people, right? So yeah, and also the roofing company, Sherman Brown. Sherman Brown has helped me also all throughout my life, and even still now, Sherman Brown has helped me actually get to my second Airbnb when I was struggling, when I didn't have no money inside my bank account, which we're gonna get on now. Which we're gonna get on in a minute. So anyway, that happened. What I was on. Come on. We gotta speed it up, okay? Speed it up. All right. Got exposed to it. Started going out as a trainee, and I was doing real well. All right, I was doing real well. The only problem is that the simple fact that I was only getting 5%, and I wasn't, me as a entrepreneur, thinking like, hey, I'm kind of getting these deals because I'm hustling. I'm young, right? I'm the youngest in the company. At that point in time, I was 19 years old. I was the youngest one in the company, and it was 12 people. It was 12 salespeople at that time, right? I was the youngest inside the company. So I had to really come with it. I had more energy, I feel like, because I was young and more motivated during that period of time. Boom. So I was knocking on doors like crazy, going out with Corey. Boom, I'm getting a lot signed. We tag teaming them, right? I go knock on them. I give them the phrase. I'm kind of learning. I'm like, hey, name Kai Gibson, blah, blah, blah. I work with this roofing company, you know what I mean, etc. Corey comes in and relates to what I don't know, and I kind of listen from there and pay attention. Once I pay attention, you know, I'm kind of getting the ways. I'm like, all right, I need to hear him kiss this because I need to go home and be able to be on my own, right? At that point in time, I had a raggedy truck, probably 2001 Mercury something, right? Mercury truck. It looked old, very old, but I was happy to have it. You know what I mean? And I ended up getting on my own because I ended up learning. I was like, hey, I gotta go do this myself, and I failed myself, right? I do these myself. I'm kind of getting used to it. I go out by myself. And also, I had my guy Jonathan inside the company also in Sherman that was motivating me to kind of go out on your own. You can do well on your own. You know what I mean? And I went out, started going out my own, and I realized, okay, I need a little bit more training. So I went out with another trainer named Telly, which was in the company. He was kind of higher up in the company. He was a salesperson, but at the same time, he wasn't a salesperson. He was managing throughout the company. That's why I feel like the best thing is going through a small company. When you go through a small company, whether it's a roofing company, it's actually a small business, right? At that point in time, you get to experience a lot of what's going throughout with that company, what operations it needs, and you really get an understanding of business. So I was thankful for that too. But Telly ended up going out with me. We ended up going out, and I really, really learned a lot of sharp points from Telly, to where I was able to go out by myself, and I ended up getting my first deal within a month. I'm talking about, but my first deal was worth it. I feel like that was my message right there. because I knocked doors for a month, right? Because I was only making a little bit. I was motivated to just try to get one check because I saw the potential of what I can make. So I said, all right, cool, I can do this. Going out for a month, knocking on doors, getting no's, you know what I mean? Getting people signing contracts saying yes, but they really weren't answering afterwards. A lot of stuff I was going through. But I end up getting that first door, right? End up getting that first door because he ended up stopping me. He ended up stopping me because he saw the advertisement on the van I was driving, right? He stopped me and he didn't know that insurance companies replace your roof. I let him know, and he didn't believe it at first, so I gave him my pitch on exactly what I know. All right, boom. Got him to sign the contract. He called me probably about a week later, got him to sign the contract. Everything worked out for a week. Bam, got my first $1,200 check within a week. Now, mind y'all, that was more than my lifeguard check was within 3 months. My lifeguard check within 3 months was probably $800, maybe $700, versus me going out and knocking on doors, and I'm seeing I'm getting a better experience with people. I'm learning. I'm getting failures because I'm getting people to say no because I'm young too. I don't look like I know what I'm doing. I don't have this whole beard right here at 19 years old, right? I'm looking young, but I'm still going door to door and I'm knocking. I go door to door knocking, right? And I get my first $1,200 check. After that, that was my notice. I quit my lifeguard job because I was like, hey, I need to even spend weekends. I don't need to be at lifeguarding for weekends. I ain't got nothing over my head, right? I have my mama. I'm at my mama's house at this. Yeah, I'm at my mama's house at this point, right? I didn't have anything over my head, so I'm like, let's go for it, right? Boom. Started being kind of successful as a salesperson. I was being real good. I was actually one of the best salespersons there, right? But a lot of people knew more than me there inside the roofing industry. So what I had with different than them was the hustle, and they had more of the knowledge. So sometimes hustle can definitely outbeat knowledge, right? And that's what was happening in majority of the cases. But I had a lot of them to help me out on a lot of deals. Shout out to Michael Jeffries too. He helped me out a lot. Shout out to all those guys, all right? But they helped me out a lot. Learned a lot from there. Stayed there for 3 years. And Sherman Brown, which was the owner of the company, he treated me. Now, if I had to say now, and I know this for a fact, I told y'all that I didn't kind of have a father figure to look up to, right? Throughout my life. But I know now, and I know it. I've been knowing it for probably about a year. I realized it probably about a year ago or 2 years ago that Sherman was that figure, right? He was an owner. He was a boss. I looked up to him. I tried to go out with him as much as I can. I don't care if it was dinners. I don't care if he was going to check out a deal. I want to try to see what Sherman got going on. How did he talk to people? Because Sherman was one thing, right? He was likable. Sherman was likable. In every room that he went in, people had no choice but to know Sherman, know his presence was there, and like Sherman, all right? If they did not like Sherman, then there was something going on with them, all right? If they did not like Sherman, something was going on with them because he would not let his presence not be known within the room. And I saw that every time as I went out with him. And I admired that. I looked up to it. And I also saw how he led. He always led the conversation. He didn't let anybody steer him in a way that, all right, to where they have control over the conversation, right? Or over the deal, right? He always directed it. He was in charge. He directed it. He was in order, he led the way. And that's ultimately the way that you learn in sales to do that, right? And I looked up to a lot of those skills, and I got a lot of traits with this man throughout my whole life. And I still am, right? Still am to this day. And going through out there, I skipped on to I stayed with him for 3 years. Moved on to a inspection company. All right. The inspection company was called, I'm not going to name the inspection company because we finna get ready to get to the story, right? Went on to inspection company once I learned about roofing because I saw, hey, I'm young, I could climb on roofs, the inspection company, the whole point was to get on roofs for insurance companies, State Farm, Nationwide, all these other companies. And I had to get on the tall and steep apartment buildings, big, sometimes commercial buildings, and just big steep houses, right? That the average person wouldn't be able to get on. I started getting on those type of roofs, working for the insurance company for throughout a 2.5 year, 3.5 year period, right? Realized at the ending of that company, right, after 2.5 years, 3 years being with the company, pretty much traveling with them, being dedicated with them and everything like that, they end up firing me. I don't know why. They end up taking me off the schedule. They end up deactivating all my accounts. I didn't have access to the app. And this was all after I took a trip to Memphis, right, to just chill a little bit, to go see my family and everything like that, because the inspection company was paying me pretty good. I actually was investing the money because I always knew to invest, right? I always had that mindset. I wanted to be able to end up making passive income or make flips, something, right? So I was also into flipping cars while I was doing inspections, because inspection was kind of giving me enough money to go to the auction and get a car and be able to drive it out and flip it, right? That didn't turn out well either. That kind of I lost more money in that industry than I actually gained, because I wasn't playing my cards right? I was not playing my cards right, and I honestly felt like in the near future, the car industry wasn't gonna be that major, because we got things happening right now like gas going up, and I'm pretty much predicting it now, right? You got things like gas coming up, and ultimately with the gas prices going up, and they tell me it's gonna go more up, and if the economy keeps on going up, just imagine what they're gonna have to end up being able to make. Elon Musk knew this. Elon Musk knew this a long time ago, right? They're gonna start having to create cheaper energy-made cars, electrical cars, right? Because that's gonna save gas, and eventually, like I said, I don't want to plot out like I know exactly what's gonna happen, but y'all know exactly what I'm saying, right? I ended up getting out the car industry when they fired me, because at that point, when they had fired me, the best investment I had made when that company had fired me 2 years afterwards, and I didn't know why, the best investment I had made was Airbnb, right? I had invested in Airbnb 3 months before that, and I had designed it, got it ready, started getting bookings, and at that point I was at a house, right? And I was going back and forth to my mom's house when I was getting bookings, because I didn't have nowhere else to go. I didn't have money like that, right? I only had the Airbnb, which was making somewhat type of money, right? But with that money, I can't just spend automatically, because I had a business mind. I knew that this Airbnb had to generate me another Airbnb. And it didn't. The reason why it didn't is because I lost my job. Everything didn't continue how I thought it was going to continue. I thought I was going to continue to be able to make money, and I was going to be able to stay in the industry and get passive income like that and end up getting my next one. But they fired me at that point. At that point, I had negative $456 inside my account. At that point, I had no money, and like my Airbnb was bringing in money, if this makes sense. My Airbnb was bringing in money, but I had to make sure that I keep ahead of rent, right? So I couldn't just replace that amount, that negative amount, with and then not take care of my rent and then have to be out. You know what I mean? That just can't happen. So that's the mindset I type of had. And I also was planning on moving out to Texas. That was major for me, because I had situations going down in Memphis, and it's like, hey, if you're really trying to do something in that area, I feel like it's just best to move out, right? If you're gonna be an outcast in that area, it's just best to move out. And that's what I did. I ended up moving out to Texas, moved with my cousin, and also ended up moving with a girl I knew out there, right? This was where I was at that point. I was at her house, and I was managing my Airbnb down there, because I had already had cleaning service, had that in order, right? Boom, boom, bam. I was out in Texas after I got fired, still with my bank account, kind of getting overboard now, right? It's kind of paying off the $456, and I'm still broke. I still need my own needs. I still need to get gas for my car. I still need to be able to take care of food. And when you're with a girl sometimes and they not doing all that good, you have to be able to help them out too. And especially when they help you out and staying at their house and stuff, right? So, all right, I'm there, and I'm pretty much at that point on, I had this mindset like, all right, I have that Airbnb going and I'm making passive income a little bit, but I don't have enough to just invest right now, right? So I have to go to the second Airbnb to be able to start making enough money to ultimately, end up being to the level with steps to it to become financially free, right? And this is without owning them. Rental arbitrage, this is exactly what I have on my channel. And I also have an ebook that is going to be in the description for you guys if you want to check that out. It's called Dominate the Market. And I made that ebook, and every single ebook that I made it because the simple fact, these are things I did not know, and I wish I had known, when I had first came in the game, right? And it was like, I noticed when you get the information faster, you're able to correct those mistakes and be able to move strategically, which is what you want to do, right? You don't want to, the ultimate goal is not to be a shooter, right? Not to just shoot things, just to go with it, just to shoot, but to be a sniper. Be careful, be strategic on where you're going, where you're shooting, right? A sniper, think about that, all right? So anyway, carrying on with that, at that point in time, I had the mindset of, hey, I'm pretty gritty. I have the option to either go to a roofing company down here in Texas, because I had skill. I knew everything about a roof. I could tell. I can go to probably any roofing company I needed to and go sell for them and get money. But I had this strong urge in me that, hey, I know about business credit because I've been developing my business credit since I've been knowing it 6 months prior before that. Once I started learning about Airbnb, I automatically started developing my business credit because I was like, I have to be able to get other people money to be able to invest into Airbnb. And I don't want to use my own money because I used my own money on the first Airbnb, right? I don't want to be able to do that. So I started learning about that. Boom, start doing the things, right? And net 30s and everything to my LLC. Ended up having, like I said, I really wanted to move to a location bad, right? So what I did was I started looking for, with my LLC, like I said, I was building it at the time. So I was looking for people that was giving out loans, right, at that period of time, because I was only making some for my Airbnb, but I was looking to be at the girl place, right, and still being able to stay afloat with Airbnb. At that time, I was consuming a lot of information over the internet, also on things like Grant Cardone, on getting yourself out there. On the only way that people know about your industry is if you put yourself out there, right? The only way somebody is going to direct to Kai about Airbnb when somebody thinks about Airbnb is me constantly putting myself out there every single day inside the marketplace when it comes to this, right? And that's what y'all want to be able to do ultimately. And this is what I do every day. This is why I'm driving right now and uploading this for y'all, because I cannot miss a video on YouTube. I've committed to myself that I have to make sure I upload, and this is for the betterment of me, and this is ultimately for the betterment of you guys, because it's documenting everything that I'm thinking, to be able to help y'all up on y'all way. All right, but had that mindset at that period of time, building my credit. I'm like, I'm finna get to be an entrepreneur, and I'm also finna get to let people know what I'm doing, right? Even if I only had one Airbnb, I was shamed at that point, because I'm like, how are you gonna talk about a subject and you only have one Airbnb? How are you gonna talk about a subject? You only got one Airbnb. How you gonna talk about that, right? That's what I was telling myself, right? But I had to get those thoughts away from me. I had to get those thoughts away from me and get into what happens if you do start putting content out. What happens if you do? We know the don'ts, but what happens if you do? You start thinking on that level. And as you constantly think on that level, what do you do? What will it do if you're able to put out content every single day and show your face every single day? What would that do? You start thinking in that towards, and you're like, oh, well, this would do that. That will do that. And you start thinking of things, and that's when you operate in that way. You start moving towards that, right? And that's what I did. I had that aim that, hey, listen, I'm gonna try to stay here as long as I can. At that point, I wasn't using her. I wasn't using the girl, but it was like I didn't want to become in a relationship on where I'm going. And I still don't feel like I want to be in a relationship right now on where I'm headed. I feel like I'm headed in bigger places right now, and it's like right now where I'm headed, I feel like, you know, a girl would really have to spark my attention in some type of way. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. All right. Maybe I've been hurt. Maybe that might be what it is. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just laying that out there. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I don't need a girlfriend right now where I'm going. I mean, when I get there, then I'll be like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? It's time for me to look for a girlfriend, you know, etc. All right. But yeah, I was there, and we pretty much was helping each other out. You know, she was famous on social media, so it was like, all right. I kind of also saw her in ways, and I'm like, I need to. She was making money online, selling wigs, right? And I kind of saw that, and I was like, man, that's powerful to be able to make wigs throughout seconds. You know what I mean? Make money throughout seconds, throughout the internet and stuff like that. And let's go ahead and speed up to Airbnb real quick, right? Build my business credit a little bit, just barely, right, to where I had a business profile. And I started calling people up for loans. I tried to see what can my business qualify for. I don't care what I'll be able to get, because I'll be able to ultimately move inside an apartment, right? I'll be able to ultimately move inside an apartment. So I started researching and everything like that. End up finding a couple loans that was actually to try to willing to help me out, right? But the process was kind of taking a little bit of time because they needed a lot of verification. What happened was I needed to reinstate my LLC. I did not know that. I needed to reinstate my LLC. Never reinstated my LLC, I don't think. Had it for 2 years or something and never reinstated. So it was basically, I don't know if it was reported or anything, right? But I reinstated it and everything like that. And anyway, everything was good, right? Everything was good. Ended up reinstating it. And man, I'm dry, y'all. It's more than water. I don't want this video to go so long, y'all. But end up reinstating it. And after that, I pretty much was on the path of like, okay, how much can I get for them? Or looking for exactly what they qualify for. Because at that point in time, I didn't know I was going to be talking on those subjects now. I'm actually talking on those subjects now because I've been through it multiple times. So it's like, I have to call people back, send them different information. And I was actually grateful for that because I learned the process and learned everything they need and everything the underwriters, the process on everything, credit scores, all that, right? Learn all those things during this process and end up finding people that said, hey, listen, we're going to check this out in a couple of days, get your things reinstated and get your stuff reinstated and you're good. At that point, I'm thinking I'm good. They said if I reinstate my things, I will be good to qualify for at least a $10,000 loan. I said, all right, say less. I'll be able to take that money, be able to get another Airbnb, be able to invest into the Airbnb, let that Airbnb make some money to help pay off a little bit of that loan and get a little piece of the pie to me. Boom. That's what I thought, easy. So I didn't have the money at the time to get it reinstated. So what happened was, and I was still looking for apartments that were cheap that I can handle, because at the point that they said they was gonna give me the loan, I knew that, hey, I ain't stopping. I'm figuring to go do it. I just gotta find the money. I gotta find the money to be able to do it. I found what's gonna be able to help me restore the Airbnb and get inside another Airbnb. But at this point, I don't have reinstatement, and I also don't have the money to be able to go ahead and jump into the apartment, the Airbnb that I had ended up signing up, right? I didn't have enough time because I had signed up with them, right? Filled out the lease and everything like that with them. And I had a move-in date because I was moving fast, y'all. But I had a move-in date. It was getting close to that move-in date to where I didn't have the money to go ahead and get into that during the move-in date. And it was like a day or two behind. I mean, it was a day or two before that day. And I was like, dang, I don't have enough money. It was like $1,200 or $1,400. And I'm like, man. The only person, I didn't have no money, y'all. The only person I knew I can call at that point in time, because throughout my lifespan of being with the roofing company, Sherman helped me out a lot. As a salesperson, it's not all peaches and creams. You go through a lot of ups and downs. You go through periods, especially during the winter time, where everybody's saying no and nobody wants their roof done because it's the winter season, right? and you don't have no money for a week or two. And at that point I had bills on me because I had an apartment and I had car and I had, a lot of things up on me, right? And he helped me out all throughout that period. It was no question asked. It was, hey, here, you ain't got to ask me, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to beg me or anything, you know what I mean? Just get to work, you know what I'm saying? Put in that work, boom, 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 right? We good. And I understood that. I understand even better now. But, yeah. I ended up calling him because he was the only person I knew I could probably call for that amount of money. It was crazy, and at that time in my mind, because I'm like, I know Sherman, probably not finna get. I have not worked for Sherman in probably about, I would say probably about a year. I have not worked for him about a year from then, right? Because sometimes I would help Sherman out on a lot of things, and because I was learning a lot, and this was in the roofing industry, right? So anyway, I called him, asked him, said, hey, I need $1,400 to be able to get inside this apartment. I'm trying to do some things with it, you know what I mean? Boom. He didn't ask nothing but when you gonna be able to pay it back to me. I said, if I'll be able to pay it back to you, give me about 4 days and I'll be able to pay it back to you on Friday. Because that's when I knew the people was gonna be able to get me off the loan, and I was gonna be able to pay him back, pay something on top of my Airbnb, be able to get in and get the furniture, everything, right? And that's how I played. End up playing like that, got into the Airbnb, furnished the whole thing with the funding, with the loan, right? Paying the Airbnb after probably like a month because I had to fill it out fast. I had to get done with it fast. After filling it out for a month, mind y'all, I could not spend this money really personally at all. I couldn't spend any of this 10 grand because y'all, furniture is so expensive, and I did not know a lot in the field of Airbnb that I know now. So I was spending a lot of more money than I actually was supposed to, and got a lot of furniture inside, and didn't end up having a lot of money to myself at that period of time. But I had 2 Airbnbs going on, and I didn't have anywhere to live except for the girl house, right? Because every time, of course, that one got booked, I still had to go somewhere, right? I still had to end up going somewhere because I wasn't in Memphis where the other Airbnb is. So what that tell you? I only had that Airbnb, so when it got booked, I had to go somewhere, either my cousin's house or her house, right? And that's what I did for a certain period of time. And at that point in time, I said, all right, I'm about to get ready to blow myself up. I'm about to get ready to blow myself up inside my industry. That way, not only am I making passive income right now, but people will be able to see me from the internet, and hopefully I'll be able to make something from TikTok, because TikTok was blowing up. And I'm like, okay, I heard that if you pass 10,000 followers on TikTok, you'll start getting paid for your content. And I'm like, well, that's something I can definitely do. I can hit 10,000 followers if I just post every single day, right? Or if I think an idea every day. This is things I've been hearing from other speakers and people I have listened to. You know what I mean? So in that field, in Airbnb, and during that period of time, all right, I'm getting in my motion and I'm talking about everything, because I did not focus on the negative. Hey, Kai, you only have 2 Airbnbs when there's people out here that have 40, 100 Airbnbs. How you able to speak on the subject? What I was able to speak on is what exactly I was going through and what exactly I was building up to, and also exactly what I learned, all right, and what my mistakes was inside there, because what I didn't notice is they helped a lot of people out. A lot of people was like, oh, I didn't know that. I just got my Airbnb. I'm so glad that you just got done pointing that out and seeing this video. It was pointers. And I realized that, right? So I continued to start doing it. And then I started doing videos on me building business credit, because that's what I was doing at that certain period of time. I had saw the capability of what my LLC just did for me, right? It just got me a $10,000 loan that gave me a whole nother Airbnb that was not my money at all, right? So I was going crazy, all right? And I wasn't making a lot of money at that time. Even that Airbnb at that point in time, I was only making probably about profit each month, about $600, right? $600 because I had to pay off a loan every month, right? $600, that was not that much, but it was passive income to me. And it was something to be able to help me out each month that I didn't have overhead, you know what I mean? And I also continued documenting. So I knew I was going to end up surpassing that mark with TikTok. End up surpassing it. TikTok has still not paid me. I have over 284,000 followers, and they still not have paid me. I'm finna find somebody at the headquarters. I'm finna go find somebody at the headquarters. I had so many videos go viral now, and they have not paid me for a single one. The only thing I've got paid for is my live streams. The only thing I've got paid for, and that's tips. But yeah, end up going hard, y'all, while I was at the girl house and also traveling back and forth to my Airbnbs. I'm talking about I'm uploading almost every day, because at that point in time I also had a lot of time on my hand too, because I decided to go the entrepreneur way. So I'm like, all right, I have a lot of time on my hand. You know what I mean? I don't have enough money to keep on going out to Airbnbs right now, because I don't want to keep on draining myself with these loans, and you know, and I don't have any type of money automatically coming in for myself. You know what I mean? So if that makes sense, I was like, I more wanted to get paid off my content also. I'm working hard on it. So I said, I need to go to the next level. I need to make sure that I keep on posting on TikTok, and I need to keep on posting on Facebook Reels. Well, you know what? At that point in time, Facebook did not have Facebook Reels. Before I had surpassed TikTok, they didn't have Facebook Reels. So I was just kind of like on Facebook, just, you know, just on Facebook. I had already been on Facebook, just how the average person be on Facebook, making posts and all of that stuff, right? End up doing that. Still on TikTok. That's the only platform I'm on. But TikTok gave me that motivation to, hey, the video, you starting to do a lot of videos, and I mean, you're thinking of ideas and all that, and you helping a lot of people out. Why don't you start a YouTube channel, right? That's a video. You're doing videos now. You're showing yourself now, right? You're teaching people now. Why don't you start a? And then that's where the period come in again. Like I said, you had an option to think negative. You had an option to think positive. Because if I do start a YouTube channel and I upload every day, what'll happen? What will happen? People don't know exactly where to go to for Airbnb. People know where to go to for Airbnb information. You can also create your own circle, close circle, within a close circle, right? From the industry you are in. I mean, I'm inside of Airbnb industry, right? People want to know more about Airbnb industry. So when they think of Airbnb industry, if they think of Kai, right? I provide the information, I provide the value. It's just like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know how to explain it in a way. You know what I mean? But at a certain point in time, when you blow yourself up, right? You become what they consider is valuable, right? You have a certain things, valuable things out on the earth, but it's a such thing as making yourself valuable. It's a difference between some people going out and getting money, and it's a difference between some people making themselves valuable enough to be able to, for money to come to them, right? So that's how that way works, all right? That's how I feel like the way works. It's some people that go out and try to get the money, and there's some people that try to make themselves valuable enough for money to be able to come to them. And ultimately, I feel like how somebody makes that happen is just investing into yourself, right? Invest into yourself as much as possible. Within this year of 2022, I have learned to invest into myself more than ever, and I have learned more information more than ever. Going to conventions, paying $400, $500 for conventions. I paid over $2,000. I mean, I said $2,000. I paid over $5,000 in courses so far within the 2-month period of now. And I will still forever make sure I keep on buying courses and I keep on learning, all right? It's a period that just won't stop. And you shouldn't stop either, and you shouldn't let a price stop anything. I never let a price stop it. Y'all, $1,200 for a course, right? $1,200 for an Airbnb course, $3,000 for a financial literacy course. All right? This is no joke, all right? And about $600 in also credit repair and webinars and other things, learning the internet, right? This is a lot of money invested that I had to pay to learn, right? You guys are learning things from me on my channel right now, and I'm telling you guys as much as I can, but at the end of the day, it's nothing like getting that information from me in person, coming to a convention, speaking with me one-on-one, or grabbing an ebook and getting exactly what's coming from my mind onto a piece of paper, or exactly what I've been through within the industry that can help you out and multiply your business, right? that's just something that's priceless. All right. But like I said, I feel like ultimately as you invest into yourself, you make yourself more valuable, and you end up becoming a money magnet to where you make money end up coming to you. You have people coming to you looking for advice. You have people coming looking to you to come to their show. You have people coming to look to you to be up on their podcast, etc. Right? I've had this now, and I've always knew this because this is what I was learning, and now it's coming to life because I'm executing. I'm executing now. All right. But let's go ahead and move on. All right. End up continuing with that. Facebook Reels came along in September of 2021. When that came along, I said, oh, snap. At that point, I had passed TikTok. I had passed 10,000 followers on TikTok. I think I had like 15,000. I had already had the confidence that I can build a following base somewhat, right? So I said, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on until people start noticing my industry, until I start building the authority in the industry that I'm in, right? Building the authority in the industry that I'm in, Airbnb, business, LLCs, etc. All right? Building my authority in that industry throughout social media, the internet. And that's what I started doing. Facebook Reels started giving me a lot of love, right? Facebook Reels started giving me a lot of love. They start getting people attraction to my website. I said website. They start getting people attracted to my page, right? My actual Facebook page, and they got people to follow me, and they got them to learn more about information, and if they wanted to get more value from me, right? Because ultimately, like I said, I cannot give you guys every single detailed thing, because honestly, that would be an hour, or I said an hour, probably about like a 5-hour lecture. But it's like within the information that you are getting so much value because we took the time out as entrepreneurs. And this is other people that also develop ebooks, took the time out to be able to put our mind inside of that book for you. So you'll be able to grab our knowledge within the experience that we have been through within that industry of gathering other people's money to be able to invest into Airbnbs. You'll be able to get that close up of my mind of that, right? Nothing like that. So, like I said, I feel like that was a major part. It definitely played a major part. Facebook started showing a lot of love, gave me confidence to move to YouTube, where I'm at now. And as you guys see, I'm getting better and better every day. Learning the system, learning how to upload every day, learning how to be able to communicate better as myself, right? And this is what happens to anybody that decides to end up doing this journey. This is what happens to anybody when you stay consistent and you stay on this journey. This is what is going to happen. All right, this video is going to be on here forever, even until I die. I'm not trying to say that, but even until I die, somebody will be able to come back and look at this video and get that advice and say, well, you know what? I do need to start that journey. I do need to start that journey, because ultimately you will have one video that changes your life, and we've all had that video, right? Or some people probably not had that video yet, but you all had that one video that literally sparked something inside you and say, hey, listen, I need to start doing something. And it sparked something inside you from you watching somebody else or you listening to somebody else say something. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure I relate as best as possible every time on on all my platforms. But that is pretty much where I came from, right? I have been able to develop a major following base on TikTok, on YouTube. YouTube has surprised me. We have almost over 8,000 going on to 9,000. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Almost 9,000. We've been going up. I've had my YouTube channel for 8 months now. So we're going up definitely, and we increasing every single day. Every new follower, every new subscriber is like a new brick, right? Building that brick up. And that's what I want, because ultimately I'm gonna continue to give you guys advice. This advice is going, like I said, continuously, all throughout my life. Y'all gonna know rich secrets, all right? Continuously, especially if you subscribe, you a part of my team, you know, you're gonna hear from me every single day. And I'm gonna be that person that you hopefully can come to every single day. You can come and watch those videos and say, hey, listen, I know Kai's gonna upload today. And I sparked that inside you, and I sparked that enough inside you to come watch back another day, and another day, and another day. And that ends up even putting more spark in you to do something else. And then you end up doing something else. And then you leveling up. And then now you up in rank, right? So, yes, that's what happens. That's ultimately what happened to me. And it definitely can happen to anybody else, as you can know through my story now. But that is where I came from. And I feel like I had to give people an understanding of where I have came from. I have developed now to been able to make over $40,000 within a month span, the most I've made. $40,000 over the internet of helping people out, right? Literally helping people out. That's good to say that, like literally helping people out. I've been able, and ultimately, I've read a book called Go Giver, and it's called The Law of Value, right? The law of value simply states is the more your income is only determined, right? Law of value, remember this, and y'all probably want to write this down. Law of value is your income is only determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve those people. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve those people. Okay? Point blank period. And I believe in it because I'm a believer. I just told y'all I'm a firm believer now. All right? $40,000 over the internet within a month span. All right? Over helping people out. Creating content on helping people out, right? Giving people more value inside of Airbnb on how they can correct their Airbnbs, even if they had some right now, or if you're just a beginner inside of Airbnb, you can take that ebook, you can take that course, and you will be able to, throughout a 60-day span, all right, 60-day span, be able to go get your Airbnb and not own a single thing, right? And even with your LLC, that's the whole point. I teach people that the rich, the top 5% don't use their own money. They don't use their own money. They don't use their own money, y'all. No, they play the game of, oh, it's their money. We're gonna use their money. That way that if we lose it, it's you to blame. That's your money, right? And also it got benefits on them not being taxed because it's debt. It's debt. You cannot be taxed with something that is debt, right? A form of debt, a loan, a revolving credit line, right? These are forms of debt. If you go out and use these forms of debt on any type of purchases, you cannot be taxed with these credit lines, right? Or loans, because it was a debt. So, and that's another benefit that I say that the rich have and they know. So we're gonna make sure we apply that on this team and also on this YouTube channel and further on, right? I probably may add some clips onto my Facebook on this, but that's going to be pretty much it. Like I said, I've been able to develop that $40,000, and we're even going up now and scaling. I'm scaling, right? I'm learning because I'm paying for these events, right? Because that money didn't come from nowhere. That money didn't come from nowhere. That money come from spending money to be able to invest into myself. Now I have the knowledge, and now my income is building up. All right? You ever heard the term that you earn however much you learn? I think that's how you learn. You earn as much as you learn, or something like that, right? But that's true, right? I had to pay into it, and I had to get the information, and ultimately I saw my income going up, and I see my income even going up even right now. It's going up right now at this moment, and it's going up right now by the second, and I don't know what to think about that, y'all. I honestly don't know. I'm not gonna say I never saw myself doing it, but when you actually going into the field, you're going into the field like, I possibly can do this. I possibly do this. I'm gonna try my best to go ahead and get it working, and hopefully I have some success out of it. And then when you start having success out of it, it's like, all right, cool. And then you start having a lot of success out of it. It's like, oh, okay, all right, this is crazy, right? This is crazy at a certain point. Like, you know, I never saw myself not being able to do it, but just, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I never doubted myself. I always knew I was gonna be rich. But it's just like, I did it. It was a feeling of I did it, so it's still a feeling of shockness that I'm able to do it, and I'm able to make this, make money by the second, a minute, even while I'm talking or anything like that, right? And we're even expanding to where we're going out to where we're about to get ready to do conventions. You're about to see us on webinars and everywhere, right? Everywhere. Risk Secrets is pretty much, we're gonna make sure we brand everything. It's gonna be major. It's gonna be a lot of things coming out in 2022 and also 2023, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all be ready. But that is the story of my life pretty much. I hope y'all enjoyed that and listen and gather a lot of information from this, all right? Because this is real deal, like how most people come up, and some of the things that I talk about, that I just talked about inside here, that'll help a lot of people, because some people feel the same way. Hopefully some people have that same feeling, and I grabbed that feeling that you had and I made it feel a little bit better, because I have went through that. You know, if somebody has went through that, and I went through that phase and I've had success with that phase, I just kept pushing, right? And that's ultimately the goal. So that's it, y'all. That's the story of me. If y'all don't know me, for my subscribers, followers, now y'all know me. And I've been enjoying every moment of this. I've been enjoying every single moment of being able to create content, being able to travel, being able to see people that I don't know and they have a lot of knowledge, and it's like crazy, right? It's crazy. So, and I want ultimately other people to be able to realize this, because it's a good feeling, right? It's more than explain feeling. I can't even explain it right now, right? And I want people to be able to feel this way, and this is why I make content on it, because we're gonna help each and every person. It doesn't matter if I help 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm helping somebody, all right? When I die, I know I didn't help a lot of people, and even with my content, they'll still be able to go through it and be able to still get information. And my name still exists. Risk Secret still floats, all right? But that's gonna be it, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and everything like that, all right? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate all my subscribers. Let's get it.